Well, fuck me, I was doing so well up until the last few minutes, and then I got carried away, and I knew that wouldn't go well. So I fucking stopped, and I'll start again. They've captured that guy, the sex offender guy who was released inadvertently yesterday. Hadush Kabati was captured in Finsbury Park in London this morning, and there's a picture of him on one of the papers. The incompetence there is beyond comprehension. This government, of course, are so incompetent, it's quite extraordinary, but they're in power with a huge majority, and they're probably there for another 3.5 years. Although my forecast is they won't be in power, they'll lose it. They will have to call an election soon because they're making such a fuck up of this country. And Rachel's got the budget coming up on November 26th, and that's the day I have my MRI scan, by the way. Isn't that fucking exciting? And the second one, by the way. Anyway, I wish her well on that because she's going to fuck your life up even more. Raising taxes, inevitable. Fuel duty, inevitably going to go up, and as much as 10%. There's 4 billion in the pot straight away. Cigarettes are going to go up. Well, nobody buys cigarettes now because they're like gold dust. If you've got a couple of old cartons of cigarettes, you can sell it and buy a motor car. Does anybody still smoke? I don't know anybody who smokes these days. But if you do, good for you. Fuck it. The fucking world's miserable enough. And they're going to put up duty on alcohol. Inevitable. They're probably going to freeze the tax threshold. Of course they will because they want the money. Although they promised they'd raise the tax threshold, they won't because that's another broken promise. The rates probably go up again next year. There you are. That's for the local councils. They couldn't give a shit about you. Old people like myself, they don't care. Nobody gives a shit about old people. In fact, old people are a bane to this government. They want you all to pop your mortal coil as soon as possible, preferably. That's a terrible thing to say, isn't it? But it's fucking true. It's true. And there's an article in one of the papers by some journalist. The Home Office will never stop the grooming gangs. And he's dead right. I mean, this has been going on for fucking years. Why isn't there an inquiry? Why haven't we taken them outside and do what I would do to anybody caught in those grooming gangs? You know what I would do? But I can't say it on here because I'm a gentleman. But I wouldn't be with people like that because they're the fucking pits. What else is there to talk about? Well, there's a lot. The American government still hasn't got any money. I don't understand that, and my American colleagues, nobody can explain it, but apparently it's due to the fact that they need more than, although I thought they owned the Congress and the Senate, but they need more votes, and it's apparently the Democrats, those wonderful people, the Democrats, who, everything about the Democrats is they're wonderful people. And the next presidential candidate, it's not going to be Gavin Newsom, it's going to be Kamala. Yeah, I'm sure that the Republicans will be delighted if Kamala runs again. She's always worth a laugh, wasn't she, Kamala? Absolute sweetheart. Very, very bright lady. And we've got a couple here they're all on the front bench of the Labour Party. They have to do a special check before they become members of the Labour Party front bench. Just have a look at them. I mean, amongst them all, the whole fucking front bench, what's the total IQ? I don't know. Pretty low, I would have thought. Oh dear, oh dear. Yes, I am a Republican. I'm a Republican, there you go, if I was in America. And here in England, I don't know what the fuck I am now. I suppose I'd vote Reform because the Conservatives have fucked everything up for the last 14 years. And, why haven't they sorted out the post office scandal? Still ongoing. That's disgraceful. And it should have been sorted out years ago under the Conservative government. But they fucked everything up, and now we hear about Johnson and the money he's given to his pals. And that lady, whatever her name was, who took that money, 120 million, has she given it back yet? Or been taken away her damehood or whatever from the House of Lords? There's another organisation they need to get rid of, the House of Lords. It's unelected, and they have more members than they do the elected chamber, the House of Commons. Fucking ridiculous. On their £300+ a day expenses. There you go. That's another one of my little tweets, and I fucking hate them. I think it's a fucking disgrace. China vows to make Starmer bow to Taiwan ownership demands. Well, Taiwan, is under threat constantly from the mainland of China and has been so since the 1950s. And, will it happen? China is massive and one of the most powerful, well, it's probably the second most powerful country in the world now, after Australia and Canada. No, just kidding. after America and, whatever. Anyway, they are incredibly powerful, incredibly smart, and they're only 100 miles off the coast. So the little island of Taiwan, but don't take it lightly because they're very well defended. And would the West go to their aid? In the old age, you probably would have said yes, but now I'm not so sure because with President Donald Trump, who, depends on the whim he has in the morning when he wakes up. Can you trust Donald Trump to back you now in Europe with NATO? Look at the thing with Putin and poor old Ukraine under constant barrages of missiles and drones, and nobody seems to care. No demonstrations out there about Russia. No. Unbelievable. The poor old Ukrainians, I feel so sorry for them. 3.5 years of this, and they've got virtually no electricity now. They're going to have a very, very cold winter. And winter is just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't we just give them the aid they need, give them the missiles they need, and let them go full tilt, a proper fucking war? And Russia doing this threat. And there's a thing on one of the papers going, who's got all the nuclear weapons, and that's why Russia is always using the threat. They've got 6,000. Nobody knows how many, but it's fucking far too. How many do you need? You need a couple of hundred, but they've got thousands. America's got thousands. Then you got all the other countries with bloody missiles and bloody, nuclear weaponry. I mean, we can all fucking wipe out each other. It's not going to happen. So we've got to confront. There's a bully in the yard, and it's bloody Russia, and they've got to be confronted. What you do with a bully is you confront him and you give him a punch on the nose. Give him a bloody nose and he'll back off, because normally they're cowards. They hide behind the cloak of strength, but they're not really strong people, and they're usually cowardly. Disgraceful what's going on there against Ukraine. Let's just get this sorted out. NATO, shame on you. I've said it for 2.5 years, nobody listens. And what about this thing now, the trend going around? If you're still with me, you probably won't be now, because most people don't watch videos for more than about 50 seconds or less. I'm pretty much the same, except for the odd one. I mean, if I was watching me, I'd obviously watch to the end. But anyway, what's this Group 7 thing, this G7 trend? Apparently, I'm part of the group. So give me, a like and a comment and a share, and I'll be part of the G7. No, not the G7. That's the political parties around the world, the richest countries. No, this is a trend. It's all about a song. Apparently, some woman released a song. She went G1 to G7, and she's put it out there on TikTok or whatever. And the one that became most popular was the G7, and now we're all trending on it now. So if you're part of G7 and you're watching me on your For You page, then give us all those ticks, and I would appreciate it. In the meantime, have a good one. It's Sunday, and I hope you're all well. Remember, the most important thing is to love your neighbour, love your dogs, and love yourself, because you're beautiful, wonderful, and I love you all. Take care. Look after yourself, for Pete's sake.